Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Monday the 3rd of October and I'm back for my monthly cross-stitching update. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me today. Love being part of Flosstube world. Got quite a bit to share today, but I just wanted to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who commented on my last video, sending kind thoughts and wishes about little Reggie. Reggie's my 2-year-old cat who had just had basically all the teeth behind his fangs, his canine teeth, extracted not long before the last video, and he was looking very sad and sorry for himself. I'm very happy to report that he is doing much better. We're not quite there yet, but very, very close. He's definitely back to his naughty self. He's actually sitting on the table right here. Let me just grab him. So Reggie is much happier now, and I'm sure he'll be around during this video. Of course, he's sitting on my stitching stuff. So today I'm going to share the pieces I entered in the Royal Adelaide Show. I've got to draw the winners of the giveaway from my last video. I spent most of the month working on my largest project, Firefly. So I'll share how I got on with that. And then I have some more works in progress. What else have I got? A couple of start and finishes and a new start, which will lead me into some crazy plans for October. So let's jump in. First of all, Royal Adelaide Show. I've been going my whole life. It's been off the last 2 years. So they're a bit lenient this year in when you could the pieces you could enter when you finished them. So I was able to enter pieces that I did finish back in 2020. I've never entered a show before, I never thought to, but I thought it would be really fun to have my pieces on display with everyone else's beautiful work. The competition side of it wasn't so important to me, but I was completely blown away because I did come away with some wins. So let me start. Hang on, I've just got to move Reggie because of course he's sitting on it. So the first piece I entered was my COVID quilt. I'm going to have to stand up, bear with me. This one? Reggie. I have shared this piece before. There's over 30 individually stitched pieces that I stitched in 2020 on here, and I do still intend to do a focus video showing all the different pieces and which patterns I used. This was entered into the kind of miscellaneous category at the show. We just call it the show. So if I say the show, that's what I mean. And I couldn't believe it. It came third. So I've got here a ribbon. I haven't won a ribbon in years. It came equal third with another quilt that, it was a quilt with sort of some, I don't know how to explain it. It has owls on it. I'll pop a photo in. I think I've either got a photo or some video. Sewn owls with crosses around, sort of where you'd backstitch. If it was a cross-stitch piece, where you'd backstitch, but they'd done crosses. Anyway, second place were some stockings, Christmas stockings. I couldn't find first place anywhere, so I'm not quite sure what won that category. The second one I entered was Seeking Refuge by the Scarlett House in the sampler category. This one. And the first place winner in the sampler category was His Eyes on the Sparrow, I think it's that one, from Heartstring Samplery. It was amazing. It was enormous and beautiful. It absolutely dwarfed this. I think I've got a photo of the size difference. This is about an 8th, I think, of the size of that one. And it was just beautiful. I didn't get time to have a really good look at everything because I had 2 young children with me who just wanted to play to go on the rides. So I did as much as I could, and then when the labour told me that we'd been in the cross stitch section for 2 years, I thought, okay, let's go on the rides. Second place was this one. I won second place in the sampler category, which is cool. So another ribbon to share because it's fun. Ta-da! I have no idea what to do with these, but anyway. And third place was another larger sampler. I think it looked like an antique reproduction, but I hadn't seen the pattern. I'm not sure what the pattern was. So shocked. I really didn't expect that at all. And the last piece I entered was my Bee by Lorna Laine. Oh, I've just noticed there's goopy on here from the stickers. They put it on, but anyway. Here is Lorna Laine's Bee, a Gecko Rouge piece. Don't you love where he's just put himself to have a bath? Anyway, this went in the category, it was like, I think it was like linen or over 1, something like that. It definitely didn't fit in the Aether category, so it went in that one. And this one came first place. Could not believe it. Sorry, Reggie, but come on. First place, absolutely so surprised, but really proud. It's really nice to get that recognition, but it's not why I entered them. So I'll just, for completeness, I'll show you my ribbon. Ta-da! Yeah, so the category was very specific. A framed piece, no larger than 1 metre by 1 metre, including the frame, worked on a linen fabric in which each stitch is worked over 1, 2 or more threads. It's the only one that fit into, so. If you're sort of thinking, oh, maybe I'd like to enter my local show or fair, I'd really recommend it. It was really nice to walk up and down the aisles and see everyone's work and see your own as well. My niece and nephew are pretty excited to see my name on something on display. I might put some, I've got a little bit of video and photo footage. I'll put it at the end of the video if anyone's interested. It was really hard because they were all behind glass cabinets, so it was very glary. But yeah, that was really fun, and I'm really glad I entered. And yeah, I'd really encourage anyone to enter. Don't worry about the awards side of it. It's just great to see your work out there for everyone to have a look at. It was really nice actually to see people oohing and ahhing over it too. Hopefully we can encourage some new people to join the cross stitch community. So that's my show entries. Next we'll do the giveaway winners. So last video I wanted to give away these 4 patterns. These are my Animal Stacks patterns from Plum Street Samplers. Got the 4 here. And I will insert a video. I haven't used the comment picker before, and anyway, you'll see. I'll pop the winners in just here. I've just drawn them before I started filming. Okay, so first time doing the random comment picker, and I forgot to actually start recording, so hopefully the next ones will be more live. But anyway, the first one I'm giving away is Cow Pile. Keyword cow. There were 39 unique comments, and I hit the button and realised I hadn't started recording, but the winner is Christy, stitching Mum of 2 monsters. Congratulations, Christy. I hope Smokey did okay with his lump removal. I hope he's all recovered. Excellent. Congrats, Christy. Okay, so the second pattern I'm going to be giving away is Snort Stack, the pigs. So keyword pig. Let's do some maths. Also 39 unique comments. All right, so let's have a look. Jennifer Ellis. Congratulations. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're looking to stitch them because Snort Stack will come your way. Thank you. Okay, the third one is Sheep Heap, keyword sheep. I've already done the unique comments. There's 47 for Sheep Heap. Let's have a look. Fico. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the nice words about Reg and Firefly. I hope you enjoy stitching sheep. Congratulations. And lucky last, Goat Load. Keyword was goat, and there were 19 unique comments. Carol Minard. Oh, thanks so much, Carol. Yes, baby goat videos are absolutely the best. Excellent, congratulations, and get in touch with me and you can stitch Goat Load. So big congratulations to all of you. Can you please get in touch with me either on Instagram, send me a message. I'll put my Instagram handle here and it's in the description box below, or send me an email as well, and the email address will be in the description box. So I look forward to hearing from you so I can get these patterns out to you. And thanks to everyone who entered. It was a lot of fun reading all the comments. All right, quick drinks break. It's a nice spring day here in Adelaide. Spring is finally here. It's a little bit late. And you might be able to hear Jemima eating. She's decided it's lunchtime. So, September I focused on Firefly. Firefly is by artwork by Jey Parks, Gecko Rouge kit, and I decided to focus on it all of September. Now, I set myself goals, 15,000 stitches for the month. I think that was my main goal for September. It seems like so long ago. Anyway, I filmed some videos, some vlogs at the start and then at the end of the first, second and third weeks. So I'll pop a photo in of where I was at the start and then we'll pop those videos in. It's the 1st of September and I've just finished filming my Flosstube update. I've popped this back on the Q-snap. It's nice to see Mal's face there. Haven't seen that staring at me for a while. But this is my starting point for the 1st of September. I'll be finishing off the little ninja stitches in the sleeve and then completing all of this as well, and then we'll start working on his waistcoat as well. So really interested to see how far I can get in September. It's the 7th of September, end of the first week of the month, and I'm back to show you how much I've got done this week. I've had a really good stitching week. I have been off work today. Wednesday was my first day back. So I definitely won't be able to keep up this pace. But let's have a look at where I'm up to. So I'm focusing on, brought this silly pen to use as my pointer tonight. Oops. Right, so focusing on this cat. Come in a bit. It's late at night and the lighting's awful like usual, but anyway. So I've completed the sleeve here. It looks a little bit incomplete, but if I'm correct, I think that stitch right there is actually the toy dinosaur that the cat over here is holding. So I'm just going to leave that for now. And this part also looks like I've left out some, but that's actually, you can see the outline of an ear. So that is the outline of the cat that's sitting here, ear. I'm focusing on this cat though. So there was quite a bit of confetti just to fill in here, but it's come together really nicely. And then I've worked consistently down, down, down with these dark colours. It's really hard to tell in this light. You can just get a glimpse of the sort of edges of his waistcoat coming together, and there are buttons, but you just can't really see that in this light. Anyway, so pretty much I think I'm into his trousers here, and then this is a paw, and then down here is a paw. What's really neat is last year in September 2021, I was working on this fellow and I was finishing off his clothing. So, you know, in the next week or two, I'll get to this point and I'll be stitching, you know, next to where I was stitching this time last year. The other thing I wanted to say is, so you can see these are grid lines. It's coming a bit loose, but it's sulky sliver. So they're page lines, sorry. And when I started, my very first page that I stitched on the whole piece was this one. And here. Oops, it's really hard to see. And very happy to report. So I'd left like just the left column of stitches. It's just a straight line. And you can't see that. You can see something there. That's actually just the sulky sitting on top. There's a little bit of a shimmer, but the actual stitching, there's no page lines, so I don't really know why, but it doesn't seem to be a problem, which is good because I don't stitch like that anymore. So yeah, coming along really nicely this week. So I have managed to stitch every day, and I've stitched 5,135 stitches. I'm at 17.8% on the whole piece. That's 132,680 stitches altogether. My goal for the month was to stitch 15,000 stitches in the month. So I'm just over a third of the way there. I've got 9,865 to go. But like I said, the pace is going to slow right down. So tomorrow I'm going into the office for work. And then when I get home, I'll probably only be home for half an hour or so, and then I'm off to netball. So there won't be much stitching happening tomorrow. I will try and get some done, but there won't be much at all. My end of year goal is 150,000, and I've got 17,320 to go. So really happy so far, making good progress. And just for fun, I couldn't help myself tonight. I am going to do a little reveal. Hopefully this works. I think. I couldn't help myself. I was stitching that dark brown down here, and I realized how close I was to this cat's eyes. So this is her ear here. So this cat is called River, and in the show, River and Simon, this one, are brother and sister. He kind of rescues River from a nasty situation. So kind of cool to just have another cat's eyes sitting there. I'm going to try and tear myself away from her eyes now and go back to Simon and all of this dark brown and blue stitching because I really do want to finish him this year. So enough of me waffling on. I'll leave it there and see how far we get in the next week. It's the 14th of September and I've just finished my second week of stitching on Firefly. Well, that's kind of a lie because I haven't done any stitching today. I might do some after dinner. I don't know at this stage. It's been a very long day. This week I have stitched just over 3,200 stitches, so a lot less than last week, but I expected that. I can't remember exactly where I was. You will have just seen it. I have this silly little guy again as my pointer, but I definitely finished off this paw and this part of his paw just before it gets into the lighter stitching in this bit, and I'm just slowly filling all of this in. I think, if I'm correct, everything from above the red line in this section here is all one colour. So I've kind of just, yeah, done all the stitches except that dark, it's a dark navy, so that I can just come in and fill that section in. Jemima's just letting herself be known. Yeah, so it's been a busy week, so not as much stitching, but I have done about 8,400 so far in the first 2 weeks, trying to get to that 15,000, so I am over halfway, so that's really good. I don't think I've really got anything else to say tonight, so I'll leave it there and we'll check in again next week. It's the morning of the 22nd of September. I forgot to film last night, but I'm back to share my progress after week 3 of stitching on Firefly. The week seemed to go on forever. I did better than I did last week though. I surprised myself and I stitched 3,700 stitches. So let's have a look. And Jemima's having her breakfast in the background, so if you can hear that, that's what's going on. So I think last week, I think I was kind of level with this line here. So I've done everything down here. So I've completed this pour, which if I come in, look at all the different colours in it. Oh, it was slow going, but it gives a good effect. That pour's kind of in a shadow. That's why it's a bit darker than the other one. And you can see, so you can see the end of his top here, and these are his pants, and they kind of like fizzles out into shadow here. What I wanted to do is try and work out where this cat and this cat met, because that's where kind of he ends. I couldn't find a really obvious symbol that went the whole way. I think this is actually part of this cat, but I just stitched one length of thread from down here up. It does go a little bit higher, just to see kind of what I'm looking at, how much I've got to go. So if I follow that up, this is kind of the end of Simon here. So I've really only got that to go, which doesn't look like too much. It's definitely not block stitching anymore. So you can see I'm filling in some colours here, and it's her whiskers are causing lots of, resulting in lots of confetti there. And then like up here's the dark sections were kind of 4 main colours, but there's a lot more in this section. Oh, I've got a little visitor. Excuse me. Rude. But yeah, so I think this will be my last vlog. There's still 9 days left in September. So I guess I'll see how far I can get, see if I can fill in that kind of little, it's almost like a love heart. But we'll see. So potentially we could have Simon finished by the end of the month. Who knows? Okay, so end of September. Let's just show you where I'm up to. It's on 25 count lugana, 1/1 full cross for the cats, and 2/1 tent stitch for the background. I got heaps done. So I completely finished this cat, which was my year goal. So I did his paws, and then he comes down to this sort of smoky dustiness. Down here, you can see the whiskers on this cat here. And then I just, that's her back. So he is all done. So good. He's large, so it's hard to show easily. That is him. I will show you the full pic in a moment. So I actually finished him, and then I hadn't actually made it to 15,000 stitches, which I wanted to get in the month. So I came up and I started doing some background. So this is all background. So this cat's River, that's her ear, and then I think her head sort of goes over there. Just in there is the tail of that toy dinosaur that I mentioned that I want to stitch in December. And then this is the arm of the next cat, which is up here. So for some stats, I stitched on Firefly for 28 out of 30 days in September. I stitched 18,617 stitches. So I made the, what's going on behind me? I made my goal and more, so thrilled with that. I started the month at 17.11% on the whole piece, and I'm now at 19.61%. And I'm aiming for the end of the year to get to 20%. The total, I think I'm at about, oh, I don't have that written down. I think I'm at about 146,000 stitches done on the whole piece, and I want to try and get to 150,000 by the end of the year. So I think that's doable. Averaged out, so I added 2.5% to the whole piece, and it averaged out at 620 stitches a day in September. I think that was including the days I had off. The most amount of stitches I did in a day was 1,165, and the least was 0. So very up and down, but I got there and I'm so pleased. So this one is going to go away until, well, at least for October. I might pull it out in November. I'll see how I'm feeling, but I've got a lot of stitching to get done in October. So for now, this one will go away, but let me just show you the whole piece. So it's almost 1/5 of the way done. I mean, that's all the fabric. It's ridiculous. Come in, I'll just bring it up. There we go. So I'm so chuffed with how I got on in September. I wasn't sure how I'd go when I tried to do a focus month in, was it June? It didn't go so well. But September I got there, so yay. All right, moving on. I have a couple of little start and finishes. The first one is a little tadpole. I'll just show him to you. It's very cute. Now, this is part of a French cross-stitch designer's project. So I'm going to pop her Instagram handle here. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. No, I'm not going to try it. I don't speak French. But it's Juliet. She sent out basically different frames of this tadpole to interested people. Lots of slightly different frames, and we stitch them up. We take photos and email them back to her, and she'll put them together, speed them up and put them to music. So I first saw Marie from Stitches and Diamonds. I think she took part in the last one, and then when I saw it being advertised again, I was like, yes please. So that was my little frame. I think it was number 36. It took about half an hour to stitch that. I then thought, when I took the kids to the show, I thought there'd be a lot of fun, like bright colours there. I could take some photos with interesting backgrounds. So I did the the quickest, dodgiest lacing in my hoop. got on the train with the kids and realised it was upside down. So thankfully I was able to very gently turn it the right way around without messing it up too much. And then we had some fun taking photos with various backgrounds. I'll pop a few in here. So they've been emailed off and we'll see which one they choose. I guess they just pick the best picture that fits. I'm not really sure how it all works, but I'll let you know when that's been released, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. My other little start and finish was another Hygge story from NewLeafCraft on Etsy, although you can't get the patterns anymore, I'm afraid. So there's 12 monthly patterns and I stitched up March. This was a fun one. I really enjoyed this. Just needed a little break from all the browns in Firefly. So it's a little cat, looks a little bit like Reggie, sleeping on the windowsill. You've got your flower pot and your plants coming out there, flowers coming out. Another pot plant here, and that's macrame. So there's instructions on how to create a macrame look. Very clear instructions. So you can see there's some beads in there. Oh, and a tassel even. There was even instructions on how to make the tassel, which came together really nicely. What else? There's a book here, which you do petty point, so over 1. And there's some sort of little pot plant, seedling or something, sitting on the book. And the cat has got a mouse there. Can't really see, didn't stitch up so well, and I'm absolutely fine with that. So that is March done. And again, I'll just show you all of them, but I won't go close in for all of them. But so there we go, we've done 10. And I've just got 2 to go. So hopefully on track to finish these by the end of the year, which is the plan, and then finishing them maybe by the end of the year, we'll see. All right, now a couple of other whips. Go Supernatural from the Witchy Stitcher. I showed this last time and I was behind. I'm still behind, but I have added another creature. Let's just show you. So I think last time I showed it, I hadn't quite finished the skulls down here. So they're done, and then I've done the streaker. It's a bit hard to say. So streaker is done, and then I think underneath these two we've got, what is it? A gnome, a very cute gnome, and vampire. So sorry, getting distracted. It's on 32 count cocoa dust, 32 count linen in cocoa dust by Handmade at number 12, or number 12 Stitch Co. And enjoying these. I think, yeah, the weekend that's just been, there was no creature, I think. So it's kind of like a catch-up week. I don't know if I'll get 2 more creatures done this week, but I'll just keep going. My other stitch along that I'm doing is Under the Sea by Durene Jones. Just grab it. Available through Lakeside Needlecraft. Oh my god! What is going on? Leave her alone. I'm stitching this along with Witchy Stitchers and Emma X Stitching. Emma, I'm so sorry to hear you've lost your stitchy bug, and I hope filming your floss tube got you energized and inspired. So yeah, we've all been there. So we're trying to stitch one motif a month, not worrying so much. There's a lot of background noise today. We're just gonna go with it. Not worrying so much about the back stitching and all the little bits and pieces. But this month was the turtle, or September was the turtle. It does still need to be back stitched, but came out really nicely. And in October we'll come along and there's a scuba diver here. And I've totally forgotten fabric details, so I'm just going to skip that this week. Okay. Now I've had a new start and we'll go into plans. Every Saturday in October, Witchy Stitcher's Joe and myself will be starting a new spooky pattern. Kind of last minute crazy plans, but I'm here for it. Really excited actually. It's been a really fun kitting everything up and getting prepared. So the very first one is, should have been a bit more prepared, sorry. Teresa Kogut's Silhowitches Quaker. It's a really fun pattern that Joe kindly gifted to me along with the fabric. And so I started that on Saturday. And I know that Angela from Angela Loves to Stitch on Flosstube and Instagram is also stitching this. If you're also stitching it, let me know. It'd be fun to follow along. Right, so I made a start. Here's my start. Isn't that fabric beautiful? It's called Bee's Knees and it's from Seraphim Fabrics. It's 40 count and I'm using I'm not using the called for threads. I'm using a black silk from Silks For You and a variegated DMC. I'll pull them out in a second. And really cute needle minder as well. Look at that. But I love it so far. It's coming together so nicely. So the flosses I'm using have just black silk from Silks For You. It's PR 070 on a floss drop from Ginger Stitch AU. How cool is that? The green, I was also going to use a silk that I had in my stash, but it's a little bit too fluorescent green. That's this one. Very bright. Put them together. I mean, it would still be fine, I'm sure. But in the end, I was at Spotlight on Saturday, and I found this DMC. It's 4045 and it's just a nicely lightly variegated green. $4045. And you can see, yeah, you can sort of see the variegation on the witch's legs and the whatever these are. Just a very mild change in green. So that's lots of fun. I won't go through the other starts we've got planned yet. I'll wait to share them in my next video, but yeah, there's three more. I went from not starting many pieces this year to now just starting everything. And with that, I am going to start something else as well. So out of the blue, Stioch came back to life, and there is going to be another Stioch Long this year. So if you don't know what Stioch or Stioch Long is, it's a cross-stitch designer company run by, oh my gosh, Jemima's behind the camera scratching. I think it stopped wobbling. The husband and wife team, they do mystery stitch alongs. They generally do one each year, although they didn't do one last year. It's lots of fun. It's more than just a stitch along. It's a massive community. There's a massive community behind it. It's so much fun. There's lots of fun challenges. Highly recommend it if you want something a bit different, want to maybe meet some new people. So I've been in a couple of different teams over the years, but I've joined the Aussie team again this year. So looking forward to being part of Team Aussie, whatever we're actually called this year. I'm not sure. If you're joining in, please let me know. If you're in the Aussie team especially, let me know. But if you're in any other team, I hope you love it as much as I have in the past. I've got my last few, well, I've done 3 of them before. So I just thought I'd show my finishes from the last 3 Stioch alongs. This was the first one. So to give you an idea, and she has said that this year is going to be sort of similar to this kind of theme. So we got given, just ignore basically everything after is weather. We sort of mystery stitched along this bit and this bit, and then there was a gap here, and they provided some optional, ways to finish it, some ways to end the quote. So home is weather, whatever you want it to be, but you could also come up with your own. So I came up with my own, and this was in 2018, and I was really invested in the team, and you had to, I think you got points for a percentage of your team finishing the piece by a certain date, and I had something I had to do at the end of the year where I was going to be offline and there was not going to be no chance to stitch for about a month. So I had to rush my finish. So you can see the lining, it's all wonky. It wasn't perfect, but I finished it, and I was, part of Team Aussie that year. Yeah. So this year is also going to be a quote with customizable endings. So that was 2018. 2019 was the Golden Girls, also mystery. But it came together as the Golden Girls, which was fun. That was 2019. And then there was one in 2020 where I can't really remember. The last few years are such a blur, but they called it a Stioch alone, and they made it a lot easier. It wasn't so much of a mystery. There were, minimal colours needed. I can't remember if there were teams, which is terrible, but anyway. And my finish is on my Kogut quilt. It was very on theme for the year. Bless this house. So for this one, we just had to pick. I think it was 6 contrasting colours, including a very light and a very dark. And people came up with all sorts. I just randomly chose browns, just from my stash. And all of a sudden we have house. It's only small, it's really small. But the detail is amazing. So if that gives you a little taster and you're interested, I would suggest going and having a look at their website, stioch.com. Also their Facebook group. Let me just remind myself what it's called. Stioch Alongers 8. Just read the description, and there's a password to get in. And currently at this stage, they've released the fabric and the threads needed, and they're encouraging people to sign up to teams. It's really fun to be part of a team. There's posts in that Facebook group where you can find teams if you haven't been in one. Everyone is so welcoming. There's a team to suit everyone. It's so much fun, so I'm looking forward to being part of that too. So it'll be 5 new starts in October. So next video at the end of the month is going to be a busy one, I think. Putting Firefly away for a bit, and I have a few other things I want to work on as well this month. So I think that's everything. Yes, congratulations again to the giveaway winners. Please get in touch with me and I'll get those out to you as soon as I can. I hope you're well and safe. There's some pretty awful things happening around the place at the moment. The hurricane in America was just absolutely devastating. So I do hope that you're safe. And get some stitching in if you can, and we'll see you again in another month. Bye.